Hi everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back from the lunar lunacy that happened a few days ago. Okay, so this is supposed to be the new moon view for my fire, earth, air, and water signs, but because of the energy that actually happened, I decided that maybe we should do like an after reading, like an aftermath. Where are people now that we have made it through the solar eclipse and the new moon in Cancer that just happened on July 2nd? It was all kinds of emotions going on, and this is the first time I'm connected to the moon. I do the new moon, I do the full moon. I try to be in synchronicity with my moon tides and with my feminine as much as I possibly can. But let me tell you something, this was the first time that I have ever felt an eclipse this way, in this fashion. So let me tell you what was going on for me, and then I will post some questions, and if you guys want to respond, that'll be great. But basically what I was feeling was this very, very deep, heavy, penetrating sadness and depression. Very, very serious, like to the point where I just felt like I was just wandering around and I couldn't figure out what was going on. And even though I'm present and at work and at a day when normally things pick up, you start doing what you're doing, it was like I could not put my hands on the right things. I couldn't find the things that I was looking for. At times I was just kind of walking around in circles. It was just the strangest energy. So I decided, I did all of the things that I normally do. I keep my sprays, I keep my unctions, I do my oils, I do all of that. Still did not change anything. So I decided to go out, take a walk, maybe get some sun, get some air. Maybe that would clear it. No, none of it worked. None of it worked. So finally what I did is I just got very extremely still, which should be the first line of defense, but sometimes when you're working and you're busy, you can't find time to just be still. And that's where I was at that moment, when the eclipse was happening, or was getting ready to happen. So finally I just stole away. I found a moment, I got in a corner somewhere, and I just really went into deep meditation. And I just sat quietly, serenely, nothing, trying to think nothing, trying to feel nothing, trying not to judge anything, not trying to attach to the energy in any kind of way, but just to be still. And somewhere around, I don't know, like right as the eclipse was beginning, it just stopped, just like that. So to me, this has been the most succinct eclipse energy. We talk about the eclipse and we talk about how the eclipse has a quickening process to it, like it quickens whatever it is that we're doing. But I have never felt it come in that succinctly, like almost to the letter. The eclipse started and the energy changed. It just changed. It just changed. So from that, I'm still processing what that was and what was happening. Definitely some emotional energy, which you can understand because the moon was in Cancer, and we had kind of been forewarned about that. Expect a lot of emotions, expect emotional times, issues with family, things coming up around family, that kind of thing was what was predicted. That definitely came up for me as well, issues with my family, things that had this like unfinished business in the family with certain people that I was having some headbutting and some issues with. That came up for me, but again, I was attempting not to attach to the feeling or attach anything to the feeling, because I wanted to just see what the energy was in general. If I can say anything, I'm going to say that all the sadness and all the sorrow that we have been feeling and experiencing individually or collectively was in that. It was definitely in that. It was definitely in that. It was so heavy. It was heavier than the weight that I'm feeling, with my own issues and my family. So I knew it wasn't just me. But there is just a huge weight, a lot of depression, a lot of sadness, a lot of sorrow, a lot of despondency, a lot of feeling lost, feeling like, you don't know where to go, you don't know what to do. All of that energy was caught up in that. And I think I feel like it was lifted, because I'm telling you, as soon as the eclipse started happening, the energy just started picking up, and next thing you know, it was like all that I was feeling before, I'm just not feeling anymore. Just like that. Just like that. So I wanted to just kind of take this moment to draw us into space around that, because I really do feel that the energy of that moon is going to be working with us, and also working with the Pluto energy and the Saturn energy that's going on. There's some other things, so some retrograding happening right now, so communication is going to be key. Communication is going to be key, and because a lot of times when people have a Mercury retrograde, they get all nervous and like, oh, well, we can't talk and everything's going to be jacked up. You got to really feel the energy around the Mercury retrograde, and you got to understand the energy of the Mercury retrograde so that you will know how to communicate during that time. It's not that you can't communicate. It's that you got to understand how to communicate during that season. And this is going to be a time where communication is critical, even though Mercury is in retrograde. So I'm going to come back in and talk to you about the Mercury retrograde. So stay tuned to the channel, because I'm definitely going to do something about that, so that we'll understand how we need to be communicating with each other during this retrograde period that's coming up, because we have to. That moon tells me that. That moon energy tells me that. It tells me that without question, we have got to deal with our depression and our sadness. We're going to have to communicate through that process, and we cannot waste a whole lot of time with that, because now is the time. Now is the time. Quit fooling around. Quit playing around. So we really don't have time to lean out during the retrograde and act like we're not going to talk to each other. That's not going to happen. You got to talk to your peoples. Lucky us. I highly recommend that you find yourself a mediator if things are dysfunctional and dissociative. I highly recommend you reach out to your therapist, your favorite therapist. Pastors and ministers are always good. I know some people like to lean on their clergy and on their spiritual folks, their teachers or rabbis or imams or whoever it is that you connect with spiritually. That's fine too. But just make sure that you're dealing with somebody who can shoot straight in the middle, okay? Who isn't biased. Don't go find your best friend and tell them about it. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that, because you might get some bias, and you know, sometimes y'all's friends are jealous of you. So you don't want to get that in the mix either. Find a neutral party, somebody who can mediate the issue and mediate the situation for you, so that you can speak freely. And I'll corroborate that, because you know, we just want to make sure that the communication is happening well during this time. So be good to yourself. Take some time out. Take some time outs. Because you're going to need it. It's like you're going to be going in for round 1, round 2, round 3. You're going to need breaks. You're going to need a water break. You're going to need somebody to dab your cuts and things like that. You know, put some Vaseline on, you know, shine you up a little bit before you have to go back in there. So definitely take some time outs for yourself. Spend some time alone in the in-between time, because there's not going to be much alone time here. It's not going to be, you know, it's no going up in your cave. It's not going to be about that. It really isn't. It's not. And if you go in your cave, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you about that. If you end up like doing the shutdown thing, that's not going to work for you. It's not going to work for you. Not in the long run. Not in the long run. Do the work now. Pay now so you don't have to pay later. Do the work now. There is a seed, there is a truth, there is something that has to be reached for. And we collectively as a people have to get over the fact that sometimes that process can be painful. It's already painful. You're already experiencing the pain as it is. So you can continue to experience the pain the way that you're experiencing it, or you can just run right on through it. You can just plow right on through it and get to the other side. I recommend the latter. All right, you guys have a great day. I am going to come back with you in a few minutes. I am going to do those, I am going to do your fire, earth, air, and water for the aftermath, okay? I will be doing that for you. I am also going to do some research and find out some good information for you about that Mercury retrograde that's coming up. So stay tuned, stay focused, breathe, 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 and check out wooingnature.life if you need services, if you need some Reiki, if you need some stone healing, if you need to do some meditation, if you need to get your meditation game on. I highly recommend it, because guess what? If you're not meditating right now and praying right now and getting yourself centered right now, this thing is going to rock and reel you. And I don't want it to rock and reel you. I want you to float on. All right. Have a great one. Enjoy.